I cut up all the chicken, let's guess here, earlier because since we had so much, I didn't want to have to stop and clean the board. And you have to be real careful when you're using chicken, raw chicken, that you're not contaminating everything. We certainly wouldn't want to use the board and then cut fresh vegetables on it without cleaning it in between. Okay, here's our water. We'll go ahead and put the pasta in. And it's just this is for the chicken piccata, but it's just the regular penne pasta. You can do whatever kind you want. There's all sorts of different shapes and whatever you like. Okay. Stir that up a little bit. Put the lid back on. All right. I don't usually put oil in only because I think that adds to it. Now, if I was, and we're going to use it right away or in a sauce, otherwise it would stick together. If I was going to just use it separately and wait for a sauce or keep it separate, then I would put oil. I always use it at the end. After I drain it, then I put oil on it so it doesn't stick together. And our pasta's probably pretty close to being ready. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Okay, we'll get that drained. Maybe, yeah. And we've got our pasta ready. And I've got our, move this out of the way. This here. Okay. On this one, this does call for the chicken to be cut into cubes. And I did cut it into little pieces. And you can use whatever, cut you want on this. So I think it's nice to have, since it's going to be mixed in with the pasta, nice to have a little cut on that. So get that. We're going to put our tablespoon of oil. This is 2, so we'll only put half of that in. Okay. And we're going to season our chicken with salt and pepper. Salt. And I'll get that in. Start cooking. And again, for safety reasons, we take this out of the pan, we never put it back in the bowl that we took it out of, because you don't want, this would be raw, it would be cooked. You don't want to mix that too on chicken. And when I cut the chicken also earlier because it was just a little bit frozen, and it's always easier if you're cutting up chicken to cut it frozen, not right out of the freezer, but when it starts to get ice crystals, sort of, looks like it's melting a little bit, then cut it and it won't slip. It's a lot easier to cut into chunks. All right, I'm going to take this out of here. Now I'm just going to put it in this bowl. This did not have chicken in it, just had the mushrooms in it. We don't have as many little crispy things in the bottom of this. But we're still going to, let's see, put a tablespoon of butter in here. All right. And a tablespoon of oil. That'll make our sauce. And our onions. Our 4 teaspoons of garlic. We won't be able to breathe on anybody tonight with all the garlic we're using. Okay. We didn't burn the garlic? That's good, okay. Now we're going to whisk in our flour. Or stir in our flour and whisk in our chicken broth. This is just going to give the sauce a little bit of thickening. Put that in. Okay. I'm going to cook that a little bit to get the flour taste out of it. And we need a little more chicken broth in there. I'll go ahead and add that. Whisk that in a little bit more blended. And then our lemon juice. And you could put it on the, one of those things. I just find this is the easiest way for me to do it. Less cleanup. Oh, a little seed there. If you just squeeze this in, and if you hold it in your hand upright instead of down, so the seeds kind of end up back in there. Every once in a while I get a seed in there, but okay. All right, that's the juice of 1 lemon. Let that heat up a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in here to kind of give it a nice glaze, and then we'll add the chicken and the pasta back in there. Okay. Get it on a big platter. I love this recipe because it's so easy and it's good. Let that melt. Let's get our chicken back in. And then get our pasta in. So we're just tossing it together. And you see the penne pasta stuck together a little bit, but as you get the sauce through it, it unsticks. And I'll put this on our plate. This is really good cookware, but it's really heavy. And if you wanted to put a little, cheese on it, if you like, or just leave it plain. And it makes a lot.